Hello again to all the people over at Cinema 5, it's Criminal, and today I've got you a slightly different style of gameplay than you may have seen before. Instead of being more of a solo kind of gameplay, it is actually an entire team effort, except for Has22 Faz, who does ruin it slightly for us. We go collectively 40-1 against this team, and one of the main things in Gears of War 3 that's very important is playing in a party, and I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why it's such an important thing to play in a party. If you play in a party, it's a group effort instead of you against 5 other people, which is how it feels sometimes, as Scribbles picks up a disgusting double because he's an animal. If you play in a party, you can have somebody watching your back at all times, you're more likely to get revived, you don't have to get all the kills yourself, and the only real downside to playing in a party is you are likely to get less kills, because you are playing with beasts and legends who will be getting kills for you. And as far as the map trenches go, it's a very tactical map because there are very good weapon setouts for the map. If you have one person go to mortar, they can fire mortars directly into their spawn if you stand at the right place, and you can kind of spawn kill them with the mortar, even though that would be frowned upon in some cases. But we don't really do that this game, it's more of just running around mindlessly because we weren't really going for such a good team effort, it just kind of happened. And another thing you can do, if you're losing, or if you just want to hold a flawless game on this map, you can get your entire team, well not your entire team, about 3 out of 5 people to go up to the one-shot sniper rifle. And you can have one person sitting on the entrance to it, and you can have one person on the block thing in the middle, and you can have one person at the back with the weapon itself, and it's a pretty impenetrable kind of thing. And another weapon that's really overlooked on this map is if somebody's camping at the back, you could go back to your spawn and then grab the boom shield, and that can push their team back into their spawn while you push up, while they can't be able to shoot you unless they shoot you in the feet, which is quite difficult. And another weapon for pushing into spawns and breaking camping setups is the digger launcher, which I've got now as I get a double. And another thing that can help you get past people camping at the back of this map, because there is a lot of ways to get past stuff like that, is the grenades. The incendiary grenades are not quite as good as ink grenades for flushing people out because you have to get a direct impact, but they're still useful nonetheless. And now I've talked about the gameplay for a really long time, I just wanted to bring up a thing that I did mention in a dual commentary I put up yesterday on my channel in my own zone, which is montages in Gears of War. I think that the montage standards in Gears of War have been slightly overblown, because if you were to record for 4 months and you were to get gameplay that was just a tiny bit better than the previous montage that was uploaded to a big channel, say Gearsopedia, that montage is now seen as less good purely because that person who made the new montage recorded for such a long time, and as a result people start recording for longer and longer and longer, and montage standards over time just become ridiculous. Like in Gears of War 1, if you don't get a quad blind fire, you get trolled occasionally by the people that watch videos like that, and I think that's a huge issue that in Gears of War 3 I think we should try and fix as a community. Like I think Iceman and Lightbutter are pushing more towards regular montages, and I've always had montages that I didn't record for very long for, because it seems like if everybody was to record for so long and play in a certain way, then the game would just turn into a montage game and nobody would be able to play it properly if they wanted to, because everybody would just be running around blind firing and running into spawns when they don't need to be and getting themselves killed 9 times out of 10. And that just makes life more difficult for your teammates, and it makes it unfair on them if they're trying to play properly and you're running in there and you go 4 and 19, but those 4 kills might have been back to back to back, and you get your montage clip, but your team and everyone around you has less fun as a result of your actions. And as for montages, me and the Razor's Edge are going to be making one. I think when Gears of War 3, the retail game, comes out, I think I'm going to be trying to make a montage every month or every 2 months. Purely because I want to kind of push that image of making regular content instead of putting out false statements about how good of a player you are, because people don't take into account when they watch the video how long it took you to get that clip. So I recommend if you are watching this video and you are planning to make montages in Gears of War 3 that you do try and make content on a regular basis instead of putting out false statements and kind of upsetting other people while you play. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut myself off. That is the end of the gameplay. If you enjoyed it, please like the video so Cinema 5 can continue to go. That's all. Thanks.